What's up to my fragrance family? Thanks for tuning in to the channel Sense by ATL Corey. Today's review is going to be about a new Lattafa cologne that I just picked up. Had a couple of them that were supposed to come in at the same time, but they did break my shipping up. So I did get this one in, so I decided to wear it. I've worn it for a day now, and it's a very nice cologne. It's none other than New York's City of Dreams. This is your packaging. It comes with a box inside of a box. So this is the first box that it comes in. And then it comes in this as well. Your cologne sits there like this. All of the Pride pretty much come in very, very good packaging. I like that. Lattafa is doing the packaging pretty good, so I like that. And this is the box, and this is the hardcover that it comes in so that you can keep this one. And this is your actual bottle. Okay. Very, very good. Normal Pride bottle, like the plastic cover that's on it. Let's take a look at this atomizer. All right. Not a pressurized atomizer, but it still disperses pretty good. Now, this is a very, very good fragrance. It's not a playful fragrance to me, but it could be a playful fragrance. This fragrance right here, I think, is more for the older crowd. Guys who like sweet fragrances, but not overly sweet fragrances. It's just like that NASMAT that no one is checking on. NASMAT is a very, very good fragrance, and those fruit notes in there are not sweet, but they are just so lovely. But that's NASMAT. We're talking about New York City of Dreams. Now, New York City of Dreams, the notes are cherry, nutmeg, black pepper, cognac, mimosa, rose, oak moss, patchouli, labdanum, and cedarwood. When the fragrance first opens up, you get hit with a very lovely cherry smell. Like I say, it's not an overly sweet cherry smell. This is more of a dried fruit, bitter type of cherry, in my opinion. Very, very lovely cherry. So, it's for my guys that I think my guys that are 30 and up. Now, mixed with that cherry, you also get that nutmeg. And that nutmeg, even though apple is not in the fragrance, it's something about that nutmeg that puts me in the mind of apple. Mixed with that cherry, it gives it that like pie type of feel. And apple is not in it, but it's something that's in my brain that when I smell nutmeg, I think about apple. So, it's I don't know what it is, but that's what it's giving me. It's giving me a cherry, and it's giving me an apple, but the apple note is not in this one. Like I say, I read the notes. Also, you get that black pepper, and that black pepper gives it a nice spice. It gives it, it's not an overly like spice. It's more of a smooth, mellow spice. I really, really like that. So for the first 15 to 30 minutes of the fragrance, you get a cherry pie with a hint of like some spice over the top of it. Very, very good. So that's what I get for the first 15 to 30 minutes. Now, in a lot of fragrances, you do see that cherry note will die down pretty quickly. But the cherry note in this one does stay around for about, I would say, an hour or so. And that spice note really lasts through the life of the fragrance. So that pepper is there from the start to the end. Very, very good. Now, what happens an hour into the fragrance is the cherry is still there with the spice, but it is toned down a little bit. and you start to get that cognac note to start to come out. And that cognac puts you more in the mind of like a Hennessy. So you have that mild cherry note with that spice. Um, it really gives you like a cherry Coke and Hennessy. If you've ever had like Hennessy and you put cherry Coke in there, that's exactly what this smells like. An hour to 2 hours into the fragrance, you get a cherry Hennessy. Very, very good. Also, you have a little more sweetness that's added to the fragrance from that mimosa note. That mimosa note kind of gives a honey almond type of smell. So it's a little more sweetness added on to the fragrance. The floral note from that rose, I really don't pick up that within, for the first 30 minutes to an hour. I don't pick up any floral notes, but that rose do start to come in on the dry down. On the deep dry down, you start to get more of a floral note to start coming out of this one. Also, that cherry boozy type of feel, I would say that it only lasts for about 1 to 2 hours. And that's basically it. But on the deep dry down, what you do get is you start to get more of a floral, um, earthy, dirty type soil smell. Now, when I say dirty type soil smell, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a good way because it's still sweet. You still have the sweetness from that cherry. You still have the spice from that pepper. That's like I say is going to be through the life of the fragrance, and you still have that floral note, but that patchouli that's in it just gives more of a earthy soil type of smell. Now, you do have a nice woody note that comes out from that cedar wood. I will say that. Very, very good. And you also get a green type of feel from that oak moss as well. Very, very good, sweet, resinous, woody fragrance. The one knock that I have on this fragrance is the performance was not that good. I sprayed 12 times with this fragrance, and it only lasted me 6 hours. And I made sure I sprayed my clothes too. And I really think that that's because this is a newer fragrance. So I will let this one sit a little while and then test it out a little more because I do think that the fragrance could perform a little better if I let some air get into it, let it sit for a little while. I do think that this fragrance would be good for my older guys. Like I say, it's going to be for my guys that are 30 and up. But I also think that my younger crowd would really like this one as well. You would think that the notes that were in this would be more for a winter type of setting, but this one is going to be perfect in the spring and the summer. It's something about this cologne when it's on my skin, it just did not sit heavy. It was not a heavy cologne. It was very, very light. So, when I sprayed it on, it felt very, very light. Also, it was not a room filler. It did not project for a long way. The sillage on this, I would say, was good for about an hour or so, and then it just pulled in very, very closely. Even though it's a lovely fragrance, just make sure that you do enough sprays, or either you get it and you let it sit for a little while. But other than that, it's a very, very good fragrance. It's beautiful. It's mature. It's sexy. I really, really like this one. Just wish that performance was a little better. When I got NASMAT, I keep speaking about NASMAT. NASMAT was performing straight out of the bottle. So, I'm hoping that this one does take a turn for the better and start performing after I let it sit for a little while, but it's still a very, very good fragrance. Also, I think that this would be a good, safe blind buy. It's not off-putting or like with the ouds or leathers or anything. This one would be a perfect, safe blind buy. Very, very good. Can't wait for the other ones to come in. But do yourself a favor. If you can, go ahead and pick up New York City of Dreams. I think that you would like it. I'm going to be wearing it a lot this spring and summer. Very, very gorgeous. I just hope that one doggone thing, I hope that this doggone fragrance will start to perform the way that I would really like to. It's a pretty, gorgeous fragrance. Just need that doggone longevity to be there. I just really need that longevity to be there. And then I would be very, very happy. So as of right now, if I had to rate this one, I would give this one a solid 7. Okay. And I'm giving it a solid 7, not off of the way that it smells, because it smells very, very good. I'm giving it a 7 strictly because of the way that it performs. Okay. So, when I get the other ones in, we'll see if those are stronger or if they're the same way just because they're new colognes. But, do yourself a favor and pick up New York City of Dreams. Well, thanks for tuning in to the channel. Sense by ATL Corey. When you get a chance, check this out. Peace.